Hey party people, what's going on? It's me, that guy from Team Needorf, bringing you another movie review, and if you haven't seen the title of this video, well, here's a hint. We're going for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Don't let your little worries get you down. Because this is either Perfect Cell or Alucard being Baloo from the Jungle Book. That's right, people, we are reviewing the Jungle Book. And holy shit! For those of you who are going to make the comparison to this and Avatar, this movie is way better than Avatar. Avatar was just a rehash of a bunch of old shit, and I do realize that the Jungle Book is a rehash of a movie, but it was quite a different movie. They didn't shot for shot remake it. They kept some of the good stuff, some of the charm, and then added its own 21st century flair to it, while keeping it within the time period of it. Because we had the, I wanna be a guy like you! You know, because Christopher Walken was in this movie, and he wants to be like you, wanna be like you, and this is a very musical review, and I don't give a shit. Yeah, you couldn't say that in the PG-13 movie now, could you? You guys are going, this guy's flipping voices left and right in this review, what's wrong with him? And to that I say, I know. Might have something to do with that whole voice acting thing I do on the side. You know, I haven't really got any professional gigs, but I'm in an unofficial dub of Dragon Ball Super. And I'm in a couple of bridge series which haven't had the first episodes out or I would have reacted to them.
So, before we get into the good bad of this movie, Boo has to say that Shao Kahn's a bad man. He's even worse than me as a kid. Boo!
Okay, that was a terrible part of my boo on that portion. You guys are like, wow, this guy's having a fucking nervous breakdown doing this review. And you're right. And I swear in all my videos mostly because it's just how I talk. This is very impersonal, you and I. It's not professional. Look, I'm in a goddamn room in my house. And granted, this mic is very nice. These headphones are nice. I've had these for a little over a year now. But you know, impersonal. Just wanted to get that out of the way. So, Mowgli. Holy shit. This kid was pretty good, seeing as this entire movie was shot on a soundstage in fucking downtown LA. Because the comparison I made to Avatar earlier is the entire world, the animals, the water, the trees, the ground, the dirt, everything except Mowgli was CG fucking I. And that just blew my mind. Because CG's come so far that where we can create convincing looking animals for the most part. And go, yeah, sure, a panther can totally talk, an orangutan can totally talk, a grizzly bear can totally talk, a tiger can totally talk. Now, Idris Elba as Shere Khan. Holy shit. He's one of the best villains I've seen in a movie in a really long time. Everyone's saying, oh, Idris Elba, he's like one of the scariest villains. Well, I wouldn't call it scary because, you know, I don't really get scared all that much, but he's a good villain. He portrayed evil perfectly, and I loved every second. Now, with the star-studded cast of, you know, Ben Kingsley, Bill Murray, Idris Elba, Christopher Walken, Scarlett Johansson, forgetting that comedian's name, but he just died recently, the senator from Winter Soldier and the Iron Man movies. Michonne from The Walking Dead. Yeah, all of those talents lended themselves to this, and D. Bradley Baker does do some of the voices in the background, which for those of you who are in voiceover know exactly who I mean by D. Bradley Baker. For those of you who don't know who I mean by D. Bradley Baker, he's the guy that does all these creature animal noises and just somehow bends his vocal cords and nasal cavities without hurting himself to create these realistic animal sounds or like extraterrestrials now, as I saw his name in the credits for Force Awakens. Now, most of you are probably going, well, you wasted all of our time with that stuff. Is the movie good? And yes, the movie's good. Review over. Not really. But yeah, the movie's good. You should definitely go see it. I wouldn't be surprised if this reigns #1 at the box office until Captain America Civil War comes out. And that's saying something. And just like Civil War, they didn't have an embargo on this movie. The second the critics saw it, they could basically talk about it, which showed an insane amount of confidence, and they could put their money where their mouth is, and I really liked it. The human elements worked very well in this movie, and I know there's some people going, well, yeah, that movie worked because of a human element, but I'm sitting here thinking with a couple other people, we could do maybe PG, if we're going realistic, PG-13 Lion King like this, and it would be fantastic. Because Disney, maybe the exception of Maleficent, which wasn't that bad of a movie, their live action stuff has been out of the water recently. Maybe Alice in Wonderland kinda crapped the bed a little bit too, but, if you're 2 for, 5, 6, I don't know. Let's see, we had Maleficent, Cinderella, Jungle Book. Forgetting the other ones right now. Anyway, their batting average has gone up since Maleficent, and I like that. So, the environments were great, the acting was superb. You could really tell a lot of these people knew how to be voice talents. And for all we know, some of them did actually mocap, even though there was a list of mocap people in the credits, who mainly probably do all the capturing, because I don't see very many actors wanting to do their own mocap, other than the Andy Serkises and the Toby Kebbles of the world, but hey, more power to you if you do your own mocap, because mocap is amazing. I mean, I've been playing Quantum Break recently, and it's really good because of mocap, but that's another thing for later. There were a few things that didn't hit as well as they should have in this movie, but that's just mainly personal reasons, I thought the kid, some of his deliveries were a little meh, but then again, he's like a little kid, so I'm not expecting this Oscar-level performance out of him. It's just, some of the time he was on screen, it was Maybe he was just being overshadowed by the talent around him, but the fact that he could basically keep up with the talent around him should speak in and of itself. Ben Kingsley was wonderful as the Panther, which I didn't really want to, I think it's Bagheera? Yeah. I didn't want to butcher his name or something. And then Bill Murray as Baloo, that was perfect casting. Sort of con artisty, sly. I really liked it. Scarlett Johansson as the Snake. I mean, that was cool. They essentially just added an echo effect anytime an S happened, which, just editing my own audio for as long as I have now, you could sort of pick that out. But it was still very enticing, you felt like you could be hypnotized, and it was a good way to sort of do the backstory thing without starting from, hey, this kid's in the woods. So this movie sort of starts off with him already had been living with the wolves, with Bagheera, for a while now. And for those of you who've seen the regular Jungle Book, you probably know the story. There isn't any other human interaction unlike the original Jungle Book cartoon, where there was the human village girl that sort of kept flirting with him from afar, and they only really panned to the human village a little bit, but that's about it. I'm pretty sure they just wallowed in all their lines or something, if they even had actual lines. So I really, really enjoyed this movie. The acting was superb. The environments, just go see it for the environment and the experience alone, because this is one of those movies that was actually shot in 3D, also like Avatar. Like, it was one of those movies you guys need to see in 3D IMAX if you can, because, you know, that crystal clear image and all that stuff. So you guys have seen me ramble on and try to get out a cohesive thought here, but I really liked it. So, have you guys seen The Jungle Book? If you have, let me know down below if you liked it. And before I leave, I will say I will give The Jungle Book a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty good movie. I'm agreeing with the critics. There wasn't much I didn't like about it, but it didn't have this overwhelming... Well, it had this awe factor to it as I was watching it, but then it just sort of... it just wasn't one of those things I was watching and just going like, wow, this is incredible. Like, there's nothing that super blew me away because I sort of knew everything that was all special about the movie going into it, but Christopher Walken does steal a good portion of the movie when he's in there. And it's not really an after credit scene, but as most of the credits are rolling, there's sort of this landscape, if you will, of a bunch of the characters while songs are going on. They like singing the songs and whatnot, and it's actually really cool what they did there. So that's it for my review. If you guys want to know anything more about this movie that it's in spoiler territory, let me know down below. And as I said before, let me know your favorite part of The Jungle Book. Are you interested? Are you not? Tell me why down below. And we're going to break on 3 people and see you next time. 1, 2, 3. Break.
Clicking her heels says there's no place I can